Here we are on Jesus TV. We had the studio guys come in. I'm one of them, and then the rest are angels. And they did the lighting, so you might notice some different lighting. They did the camera up, put it up on strings. That's nice. Um, and we are ready to go live. Well, we are live. I'm alive. And we are on Jesus TV. And this is a part. What part is this? This is part three. This is part three of a 1,000-part movie called Hearts of the Fathers to the Children. A 1,000-part movie. Hearts of the Father to the child inside me. Um, that child's long gone, so it's like he's dust in the wind. Dust in the wind, little Greggy is dust in the wind. But we're talking to him. We're talking to the dust in the wind. And we're talking to future Greg. All right. We're talking from the dust because this will be dust. This version of Greg in just 1 second. That that Greg is in the past. This is the new Greg. Not very new, just recently new. Like 40 seconds, maybe? Just a second. 30, 40 seconds ago, that Greg. Always, always going on, aren't we? Yes. And we'll have a poem about that, I believe. But what we have is another movie where the title is the script. So it has a long title. There we go. The title is this Greg. And I hear a still small voice saying this. So guess who that is? I love to think about him. Jesus, our only joy, be thou. Okay. Says what? Still small voice says, Greg, speaking to me right now and speaking to my child, my inner child, the dusty in the mist there. Greg, reset your expectations, you desperate heart. It's kind of like a scolding. It is. Greg, reset your expectations, you desperate heart. But it's also a loving, both. That's what I feel. Okay. We're not done with the title. I would just keep reading this title, and that's the movie. Greg, reset your expectations, you desperate heart. Everybody but Jesus is going away. What? Yeah, that's what I would tell my little self. It'd be pretty sad because my little self, when I was 9 years old, lost my mommy. We'll talk about that. But we're talking about the title right now. Everybody but Jesus is going away. Oh, my goodness. And when people come to the Jesus Greg world, which is right here and out here, Jesus TV, and right when they come to the Jesus Greg world, which that's anyone who might be watching this, millions over there in spirit prison, and probably other millions in the spirit paradise. Mortals, live, very few. Recorded watching this many years later, also very few. Very few mortals need this, is what this movie's about. Yeah, you don't change the channel. You probably don't need this unless Jesus tells you to stay here. Then do. So we're going to start that title again. Here we go. Long titles. One of the things I'm gonna have to get used to. It's like all in the title. I want to read a book, and the book should have a title that you can read just on one page, and it pretty much tells you everything you need to know. I'll give you an example. When I read this title, I thought, yeah, I don't have to read the book. That is the point. I've got the takeaway. It's right there on the cover. How much can I be me and still be loved by you? That title, think about that for a long time, but it's also explanatory. Like, oh, yeah, that's a good question. And then you discuss it. That's what you should do with books. Read them and discuss them. But it's a title and it's adequate. All right. So this title for me, anyways, is adequate. It's like little placeholders. Like, what does Jesus want me to know? when I'm a little kid. Yeah. If you went back, Craig, what would you tell yourself in there while you're sitting there in junior Sunday school? What would you teach yourself? I would say the title right here, Greg, reset your expectations, you desperate heart. Everybody but Jesus is going away. And when people come to the Jesus Greg world, 99% of them only need one or two pieces of the 1,000-piece puzzle that is Greg Muller. They only need two pieces. So we have children and people who are being childlike. Yes, that's who we're broadcasting to. People who are children and people who are like little children and people who aren't yet there. They're trying to be like a little child, but they haven't yet achieved that. This is why we have Jesus TV to help with that, at least this broadcast. You're looking at 1,000-piece puzzle. This is the parable of the puzzle. And like the parable of the olive tree, it has many different parts itself. But just understand this part for this movie. So there's 1,000 pieces in here. Let's have this represent me. Everything that I have that is worth having. Even your weaknesses, yeah. Jesus said he gives men weaknesses. So even things that aren't redeemed in here. This is me. Do you want some? Do you want some? Well, if you're watching this, you're getting some, but you're only getting a little piece. Oh, I've got so many episodes coming up. This is a 1,000 part television program, and we've got many television programs that are 1,000 part. And this is just one. Maybe this is all you need. Then you can go away. Go away. Take that. Take this episode and go away. You've heard what you needed to hear. I never heard the puzzle parable before. I know, right? I hadn't either until Jesus showed it to me up here in my mind and in my heart, and then keep showing it to me and right now. Right. So, one of the things that I have been naive about uh, throughout my life is I assumed, oh, look at these. I like myself, and Jesus wants us to like ourselves. He made us. Why wouldn't he want us to like us? He loves you, so he wants you to love you. Every part, every part. This ear, that ear, my nose, yeah. Even like my pimple, yep. The mole that just appeared in the last couple years on my lip, it makes it look like I've got something on my lip. He loves that. He gave it to me. And this cool, I kind of like it. I think, is it this side? I don't know. I'd have to look at my live streaming to see. Let's look at my live streaming. Which side is it? I think it's this one. There, I got some moles that look like a tear. And I think he put them on there because I'm a sacred clown. Like the tears of a clown, which are happy tears. Maybe, maybe. I believe so. Yeah. I look in my mirror and I'm like, oh, I got old man stuff. My skin's changing. Oh, it's exciting. I'm coming soon, Jesus. Yeah. But that's how much people need from me. Most people need this much. You don't have anything. Yes. 99% of all humans need this much of Greg. Nada. You don't need anything. And then those people in his community, probably close to 98.999% need this amount of Greg. I don't need that, Greg. No, you probably don't. And then amongst my friends, now here's where it gets interesting because I love my friends. Here, friends, this is me. Um, this will just take 8 hours, and this will take 8 hours. I hope you have, well, what's that? 1,000, and there's 8 hours. So I hope you have 8 hours times 1,000, 8,000 hours. That's all it's going to take. Please understand me. Please be understandable. Just can you just boil it down to that? Man, I wish I could, but that's just one part. That's just one piece. And the truth is, I wouldn't know what piece you need. You're going to have a miracle to go in here and find, it's just going to be like throw some random stuff like, hey, here's some random stuff I'm just throwing out there on the internet. And randomly, somebody goes, you're just what I needed. I needed someone who had a piece of that. Oh, give me that, Greg. I'm so excited about that. I'm like, oh, well, if you like that, you're going to love this. No, not so much. So one piece is like the number of pieces that most people need of me and you too, by the way. Just one piece, yeah. And when do they need it? When Jesus brings them, and it's like coincidence and Jesus coincidence. I only believe in Jesus coincidence. If you believe in other kinds of coincidence, I respect that. Article Faith 11, we claim the privilege of worshiping God and believing in different types of coincidence. I believe in Jesus coincidence. I believe that Jesus orchestrates. So if you happen to run into this puzzle piece that's me, part of me, it's very likely Jesus has brought you in contact. And it might be just to go, yeah, I ain't doing that. And Jesus says, yeah, don't do that. You see what he's doing? Yeah, don't do that. But then somebody else is going to come along with that same piece and say, oh, I love that. That's what I love about Greg. But Greg's not even like, oh, if you love that, I got a whole handful for you. Well, I once was stupid. Now I'm still stupid, but a little less stupid. Jesus said, don't say stupid, just say dumb. Okay, I once was dumb, but now I'm a little less dumb. Yes. Uh, and I'm learning. And this is how I learn. I have to retrain my brain. Like, oh, I think I get it. It's too complicated. I could not know what parts here are of interest or need to anybody, right? Mostly that's true. Okay, so good luck in finding a piece of the puzzle, your puzzle, in here. Are you kidding me? What you need to have? That would take a miracle. And I believe in miracles. You sexy thing. I do. I believe in miracles. And I believe you're probably sexy. I don't know. I, I can't see you, but I think God makes everybody sexy. I don't care to go down that avenue. Because why? Because Jesus says, you don't need to. Just because a song pops in your head doesn't mean you have to say it. Okay. All right. So I'm still trying to get good at Jesus TV. Puzzle. So here's what happens to me, and it's happening less now because Jesus brought it to my attention, and that's what I love about repentance. Sinning is fun. Okay, let's admit it. Come on, admit it. Sinning's fun, but you know what's more fun than sinning? Way more fun than sinning. Guess. Repenting. Yes. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. Like I want to do what I want to do. Do you? How's that working out for you? Keep trying that. Especially when you understand that sin is just separation from God. Oh, I want to be separated from God, from the light and truth. All right, try that. Don't tell me to try it. Tell me, no, oh, please, go towards Jesus. Okay, I will. I will if that's what you want me to do. But if you don't, turn off this channel right now because I'm like, follow Jesus, follow Jesus. And Jesus. Oh, puzzle. I thought we're almost done with the puzzles, but here's one of the things I had to remind myself. There is an occasion, okay, and this is what beguiles me. This is what fools me. Is there are occasionally somebody will come into my life and look how many pieces I got there. I don't know. Of the 1,000, I probably got 60. Oh my goodness. And there's somebody who wants 60 great pieces? Are you kidding me? That is rare, 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 rare. But it does happen. And then it makes you think, oh, if you like that, I got 2 handfuls. Don't bother. You can be married to somebody and you're doing good if that's what you have and you're sharing that with them. I mean, in heaven, of course, we'll get through, we'll just match up all our puzzle pieces. Maybe that'd be Jesus. That'd take a miracle. But if you're married to somebody, you got that much in common. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. And my wife and I think we've got two handfuls. And I got born again. She probably thinks, well, I think it's one handful now, but it's still a handful. Nice. And I'm a handful, right? I can hear that, Jesus. Yeah, you're a handful. But Jesus can make it so that a person maybe you're married to or a special person, your parents or something, look at how much it's still like there's so much that is not in this hand that's part of you. Well, get used to being lonely because that's part of life. It, I think we got some instinct that tells us when we were in heaven, we had the capacity to handle the whole Greg. Maybe you didn't want to, but you're like, oh, I understand those parts and so forth. But we're not in heaven. We're trying to build it. For those of you that are called to that, I'm trying to build it. We like to call it Zion or early Zion. And we've already built, well, Jesus built it, a TV show. You can see it right now. It's called Jesus TV. And on Jesus TV, we're finishing up this movie. The movie is called, let's read it again, shall we? Mm-hmm. You out there in junior Sunday school land, I feel like I'm still in junior Sunday school, still learning. The more I know, the less I understand. So, like, if I keep learning Jesus, I'm going to be in kindergarten. He goes, you already are. And he's pleased with that. Like, okay, I'm teachable. Yeah. Now stop doing that naive thing. Greg, reset your expectations. You desperate heart. Everybody but Jesus is going away. Let's focus on that. So, you're my age at 60. How much time do you hang out with people you used to hang out with at high school? Oh, you may have one or two, but it's quite common to have zero that you're still hanging out with, doing a lot of stuff with. You might be hanging out online, like, hey, Facebook, we're still friends. Yeah, cheap and easy. That's good. Got hundreds of those myself. But it's not like they have many puzzle pieces that what they have for me puzzles them. They're like, okay, I'm seeing these things and I don't want to see any more than two, but that's freaky. So, what Jesus is doing to me, or I'm allowing Jesus to do to me, believe what you want. I believe that He's leading me, guiding me, walking beside me, helping me find the way. And my way is different than other people. And they're like puzzled. Well, that's fine. You don't have to puzzle about me unless Jesus says, I want you to go over to Greg. He's your savior today, at least approximately. He's got one puzzle piece, which is the norm. No, he's got 100 times more. Two. And that's what I would expect. So if you come into my life, and it might be you're in my life for a month, and you go, oh, you're so grateful because you got two puzzle pieces. And my naive, like, they're so excited. You know what those are? Those are pieces of who I am. That's my endowment from God. That's my gifts. And if you like those, you're going to love this whole handful. Greg. Uh uh, Very unlikely. Now, always keep open that they might. So there's still a chance. But what should my expectation be? No, it's one, it's two pieces. Sometimes it's five. And then they'll go away. Everybody but Jesus is going away. And I see it. And Jesus wants me to see it. He brings these friends and they stay for a while. We interact energetically, maybe on a project or whatever. It's kind of like, having a mission companion or a friend at high school. There we were. Oh, for 4 years, we've been just loving each other. Oh, it was so awesome. And say hi, and doing things and sports together, whatever. Oh, this is going to last forever. Forever yours, I want to be forever yours. Well, get a life. No, you go find somebody else. You say, I'm going to be with this person forever. And hopefully you do. And it's called marriage. Um, but that's going to change because that person's going to get born again, or you're going to get bored with them. And they're going to become somebody new. or you're both going to just be pretty boring. I don't know. Don't go down that path, Greg. Encourage them. Get born again. And I don't know how to do it. Jesus does. Just the thing I know, yield to him. Just do whatever he says and he'll do it. And it might hurt a little bit. Yeah. But it's all right. He'll give you rest. So in between your labor pains, he gives you rest. So just go watch a woman have a baby if she can let you watch. And you're like, oh, I think I see the parable of the baby. Ow, she's hurting. Yeah, because it's these these contractions are coming on. Oh, it's so hard. That's like getting born again. And except you're born again, you can't enter the kingdom of God. And so, like, what does that even mean? That you want to get born again so you can know more what it means more. It's part of getting born again. But you have to not take the Pitocin. Oh, I want to get comfortably numb. I don't want this baby who's me coming out. You want an abortion? Yeah, I'm going to abort. I don't want to get born again. Well, good luck with that because Jesus is coming for you. All you lost sheep, you can't hide from Jesus. There is no retreat. Try to run fool away from him. Jesus took the punishment for all of your sins. You think you're going to get away? Because he loves you and he loves me. He loves everyone. Once you give in, go all in. No one ever is the same. So let's go back to the title here, which is the script. Everybody but Jesus is going away. Even myself. Yeah, your 2024 self. You want it to go away. You want a better Greg to come who knows more about Jesus TV, who knows how to run the system better. Yeah, I do. But I like Greg 2024. You should love Greg 2024. He's a good old bag of puzzle pieces that Jesus put together. Kind of messy sometimes, but you know what? The future Greg, oh, that's the one you want to be. But be patient. It's okay to be today's Greg. Yeah. And it's okay to talk to 1972's Greg. Yeah, that poor little guy. Yeah. Because on Jesus TV, we believe in miracles. So you really are talking to that little guy? Uh huh. Imagine I am. Oh, you're just imagining. Oh, well, you believe in God, right? Yeah. Well, that's what the belief is. Your belief is an imagination. It's a sacred imagination, mind you, a holy imagination. But believing is not knowing. So be careful at disparaging things you know not of. I'm trying to myself. That's why I have to read this. Everybody but Jesus is going away. So I'm getting used to that. So I have these friends Jesus brings into my life, and they'll be hot for a while. They're checking out the puzzle pieces. Oh, yeah, look at it. Oh, tell us more, Greg. Tell us more. And then it's like, bye. Bye bye. And most of them aren't like, I'm out of here, like we're divorcing or anything. But what's happening is beautiful. They're brought to other people who have puzzle pieces for them. Sometimes they're getting married, or sometimes they're getting fired from a job, or whatever, going through depression, and they can sense like, I don't think Greg has anything for me that would help. He did the last time, but not this time. I feel like this time's different. Trust that. That's Jesus. Yeah, go away. Go away, little girl, and go away, little guy. Go, go. I love you. We're going to see each other like 21 years. I'll be up in heaven. You'll be up there in another 40 or whatever it is you do. And we'll see each other. Right? Then we'll have eternity. We'll spend 1,000,000 years if you can stand me that long. We'll have trillions of years. I'm sure I can get away for 1,000,000 years. We'll just hang out and go fishing in the spiritual rivers and so forth. Every one of you, every one of. So we got time. Why do we have to hang out? This is what Jesus is telling me. Really, do you want to hang out with people that long? Well, you can in the next life. But this life, you need to keep moving. And that's what we're going to read a poem about that, I think. Yeah, probably. So everybody but Jesus is going away. And that's hard for me to hear. And I'll tell you the next movie because I lost my mommy, and I think I have some issues. That's why he says, "You desperate heart." So then we'll explore, why is Greg that way? Why? I mean, some people get that figured out. Like, no, friends come, friends go. That's just how it is. And it's like, oh, it makes me sad. Less now, because Jesus says, hey, Greg, that's just how it is. I would heal a person, and then I would go to another town. You would leave that person. They loved you and they hugged you, and then you left them. What they think about that? Well, some of them were pretty irritated. Like, no, I need to know more. I need you to heal more stuff. And then when I came to Jerusalem, they go like, yeah, crucify him. Why? Because, well, sure, he healed me of leprosy, but he didn't put money in my pocket like that person. And whoa, you're not very grateful. Just be grateful. Jesus has got other things to do. And other people have things to do. Great. Let them do their thing. Isn't it enough that you're with Jesus and angels and the few mortals that you have in your life who are geeking out on your one or two puzzle pieces? That's nice, isn't it? But Jesus, I now have 100. I do from Jesus. These aren't mine. 100. This is even 180. 180 awesome songs from Jesus that are now part of my endowment. They're a gift from Jesus. Here, Greg, and they're precious treasures. They're classic rock songs that have been redeemed. And you know how many of my friends are geeking out on those? My mortal friends, very, 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 very few. They like one or two, and I don't even know if they're just shining me. Oh, those are very nice. They're Jesus made them. Of course they're nice. I helped him, so I could have fouled them up. But I got 180 of these guys. We prefer the original version, maybe in their mind, and they probably do. That's fine. They don't want the puzzle pieces. Put them out there. Let them pick. Let them choose. Let them change the channel. Don't don't feel bad about that. They are getting what they need from Jesus. Why would you get involved in interfering with that, Greg? You're right, Jesus. I don't want to. Plus, I want to just go on and share with the next person who wants one or two. There you go, one or two. Not a handful. Oh, rare, rare, rare. You'll know it when you see it, Greg. They'll be like geeking out. But there'll be a handful, not two handfuls, right, Lord? Oh, yeah. That's you can count on that. Okay, so people come, people go. 99% of them only need one or two pieces of this 1,000 piece that is Greg Muller. There I am, metaphorically speaking, the whole thing. Here I am, kind of broken up. It's hard to serve up who I am, because we're human hindered. It's like, here, receive me. How about just show them one piece? Okay, well, this, I show it to 100 people. There's one that has a little interest. Yeah, now that is normal. And you don't force feed it. You're just like, hey, if they want it, they'll come get it. So this sets me free, Jesus. Like, shoot these movies, and if people want them, oh, they know where to get them. At least they get them from Jesus. He just leads. I've done it. He'll miraculously lead me to somebody's puzzle piece, right? So I do the same thing. I just recently did. I got this one guy's puzzle piece, an article he had written. Jesus took me right to it, and it fit like that's exactly what I need. And I shared it in the last movie. Um, and how many people need that puzzle piece? I don't know. It wasn't mine. It was Jesus gave it to this guy. This guy spilled it out. I read it. I needed that because Jesus said so. And then I'm not like, oh, I need to hang out with this guy. In fact, I did try to email him because I felt gratitude, thankful for this. Let me find this guy. And he's some academic guy, LDS. And couldn't find him after like 5 minutes of searching. I was trying to find the email. He's an innkeeper, so innkeeper's like, I don't want anybody seeing my email, so they're careful. I don't have to worry about that. Everybody can see my email. Who cares? Go Muller at gmail.com, because very few people are going to use that to say, oh, I'm so glad you said that because I'm reaching out. Very few, very, very few. Jesus has set my expectations and he has to reset them. Because I think, oh, they wanted one piece. You get the thing. And then they want a handful. No, no, I'm not going to believe that anymore, Jesus. That's false. That is false for 99% of the people. I'm just going to be happy that they got one, that I had one that they could use. But I'm going to be super happy that on the other side, Spirit Prison, oh man, millions of people gathering up pieces and pieces. It's what I believe. Comforting belief. Swells up in my breast, so I trust it. But if it's wrong, eh, sue me. After we're done with this life, you can sue me. I'm going to have lots of mansions and so forth. So I'll probably, you don't have to sue me. I'll just give you some money. Sorry for leading you astray down on earth. Here, take some Jesus money, uh, where rust and stuff can't corrupt. It's easy. It just keeps growing on trees. Money doesn't grow on trees. Oh, Jesus gave me a money tree. He didn't give you a money tree? Yeah, I got a money tree. Here you go. Take some. Take some. What can I buy? The most correct book on earth? Yeah. Or my videos. But up in heaven now, you get them for free. I think you'll be free up in heaven too. I hope they are, because they're not my movies. They're Jesus's movies. All right. So we bring this to an end. Um, and it feels good, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for this. This I will remember. And this is my wife's puzzle piece, so I'm thankful that Saber let me use her puzzle thing. Uh, like a little kid, Mama, can I use your puzzle? What are you going to do with it? She knows I can put glue on it or something like that. Like, no, 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 no. Just needed to do what you saw me do. And I'm thankful for that. I'm grateful we had 1,000 piece, because that's what I was thinking. I'm like 1,000 piece puzzle. And she just happened to have a box. I said, hey, do you have a puzzle? And she had put one together during the holidays. And I look up there and I'm like, yay, it has 1,000 pieces. Perfect. Perfect for junior Sunday school. Perfect for Jesus Dance, where this movie's playing at the venue, 7th Street, Wyoming, at the junior Sunday school room. There's little Greg Muller and me. We're sitting there, and I'm saying, now watch this part where he shows the puzzle pieces. Yeah, you understand that? Yeah. Okay, I'll talk him through it. Okay, so as you grow older, don't be fooled. Like, oh, they just coming for one, and most people aren't coming for any. Don't feel bad. Jesus is giving you these things. Just enjoy them. All right. So coming soon. Um, I'll talk more with Jesus, and on an episode of some B-roll, why I have been cleaning my whole life. Um, my human sheep DNA. My mom died. Don't go away. I need my mommy. I need you, my friend. Blah blah blah. We'll read a poem from my friend Jonathan McCormick. Yeah, he has a few puzzle pieces that I like. Yeah, all of them? No, but Jesus leads me to the ones of Jonathan's. So more poems than I've ever received from any one poet, other than classic rock poets. Tom Petty. Oh yeah, and what's your name? You. Oh, Freddie Mercury. Thank you. He's here. I believe he is. It's kind of fun to believe it. Makes my heart swell. Like, that belief tastes delicious to me. But you realize it could still be wrong. Oh, I'm going to nurture it. Don't worry. I'll just keep nurturing it and see if it like sours. Like, stop inviting Freddie Mercury. Is he here? I love that. On the 32. Hey, if it tastes good, swells in your breast, that's from Jesus. Doesn't mean it's true. You got to nurture that till it produces fruit. And I already got some fruit from Jesus and Freddie Mercury. Yes, extraordinary good fruit. That you're sneaking up, aren't you, Greg? You're going to end this with a song. I am. I think we've come to the end. Let me go grab the. Oh, do I have it? I got the Jesus phone. Yeah, I got the other one. Just a moment, please. Technical difficulties. We get difficulties all the time. Yes, but they're technical, I suppose. Just a second. We'll sing a prayer song. Close the prayer song. Okay. For you spirits in prison and spirits in paradise who are unfamiliar with what Jesus is doing, we're not, I'm not familiar with all the things Jesus is doing, so don't feel bad about that. That's for sure. There's a lot of different things Jesus is doing. He's running the whole show. He's got the whole puzzle called building heaven on earth, and we're just helping. We're each one piece of the puzzle on that thing, to use a parable, a metaphor. Um, but one of the things he's doing is he's preparing songs for Zion, some new hymns. Um, and he's turning swords into plowshares, or in other words, classic rock songs that looked irredeemable to many people. I remember that back in the late 70s, people saying, "Oh, this song's evil." Well, of course, it needs more Jesus. That's the only problem with the United States of America right now. It's not that we don't have Jesus. We just don't have more Jesus, which is evil. A Bible, we have a Bible. Jesus, we have a Jesus. Okay, Melancholy Blues. Got baptized, got redeemed by Jesus, and this song was received initially from Jesus. This is a puzzle piece of Freddie Mercury and the band Queen. Let's see. Extraordinary. There we go. I like this song. I sang it when I got up for my Jesus nap today. So I did a little practicing. I should be able to hit it pretty good. You're welcome to sing along if you know the lyrics. I think there's a lot of spirits in prison who do know these lyrics, and that feels good to my soul. We'll see how it plays out. Greg, you seem to freely believe a lot of things. Yeah, I like the Apostle Paul. I like believing all things that are cool to believe, like Jesus is with me and he's singing this song with me and Freddie Mercury's with me. So for me, here's what you should hear. My normal life is over and I'm left cold sober. Jesus save me, I'm becoming new. I always want to talk about him. Yes, I do. Never forget about him. Wanna be intoxicated with that Jesus brew. Oh, it's a good brew. So come and get me. Let me get in that Jesus feeling that warms my heart and lets my fears all go. Bye bye, fears. So, Jesus, get me. He gets me. You save perfectly, and you give me cause to smile. Even when even when I'm in for a cloudy and overcast. Please come and save me, 'cause I'm headed for that stormy weather soon. You're my hope and salvation. You're my new preoccupation. I'm permanently glued to your most luminary mood. So please come closer and please take over with your extraordinary good. This song's called Extraordinary Good, and Jesus is extraordinarily good to me and to you. We just need to believe that. I'm believing that, and I'm believing that I'm singing this song to millions and millions of angels that I can't see. They have nothing better to do than listen to this. I don't know. It could be 10. I'm okay with that. 10, a million. Who cares? You're bringing the best sensations, fantastic revelations. You are good news that I could really use to guide me closer. That's what I want, Jesus. Come into your enclosure. That's what I want. And get your extraordinary good. Bluesy song played in the bar that's only serving Jesus brew. And all the people are getting chill with Jesus. Jesus brew. Yes, I drink beer and I drink liquor, but it's all Jesus liquor and Jesus beer, which tastes like water because it's also that. It's called Jesus Living Water. So you say, oh, so your beer, Greg, is like a parable. It is the parable of the beer. I can join you. Yeah, let's have a beer party. I'll bring some bottles of water and we'll turn them into beer. Well, how do we do that? Well, how did you do it when you were a little kid? I just imagined that it was beer. Bingo. Bingo. And you might want to be introduced to my imaginary friend who is real, who is my therapist, who is Jesus, who's also the producer of this and other Jesus TV programming on Jesus TV. If you like this episode and other episodes, you might want to send me $1 million, but I forbid it. 100,000 would be fine, but 1 million, no. So how would you do that? I don't know. Contact me, however Jesus wants you to do it. You could Venmo me, Go Muller, Gomuller. Say, I like this programming. I'm going to show my love of this with a widow's mite. And that might be 50 cents. Come on, 50 cents. Go Muller. It's Gomuller, Venmo. If you do PayPal, it's Go Muller, Gomuller, at gmail.com. Multiple ways we have for you who want to support this puzzle piece, this art. But don't do it. Don't even send me 50 cents unless Jesus tells you to, because you've paid a high price by even watching this. Do you realize? I realize it. And it's a good price. So, yes, I am poor, uh, but I'm happy in Christ. So, God gives me everything I need. And so He will, yeah. I'm like, are we still doing advertisements, Jesus? I think He said I can. So, like, okay, well, let's have fun with it. And so that's what we're doing. Um, yeah, you got a free song out of it. Come on, it's worth 25 cents. Okay, 10 cents. Can you Venmo 10 cents? I think you can. So 10 cents. I would love it. Like, oh, there's mortals out there. Or it's the three Nephites and they're each sending 10 cents. 30 cents. Hmm, that could be good. Well, you're leaving now my imaginary world to go live in your imaginary world. Greg, do you think that everybody has an imaginary world? I know it. I've been trained by Jesus. We're all telling ourselves a story, and it approximates what is, but we're human. So it also means it's not exactly how it is. And sometimes it's far from how it is. But if the story you're telling, the things you're believing, bring you more happiness, go that way. Keep doing that, and then adjust them when Jesus says, "Yeah, you need to lose that," and then you lose a belief. That's fine. He'll give you another one that's better. So that's what I believe, at least in my Jesus Greg world. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening to the closing prayer song. I love it. Thank you, Jesus, for singing along with us, which I believe you were. I could feel you, Jesus. I can hear you singing with me. I believe. I imagine. I want to imagine. If you can do no